Good morning, guys. So what I'll do is post these mountain math and mountain language sessions so you can have a better understanding of what we're going through each week. I'll do this on a Monday, and hopefully you'll use that as a reference when you do your own work. All right, so let's get to it. This is set 30 for mountain language. Same rules apply as we do it in classroom. What I don't have is one of you to help me out, so bear with me, okay? So, number one, common or proper noun. I know that this is a proper noun because it names a specific thing. So in that case, I need to capitalize both the M and the R in Missouri River. Speeding on to number two. All right, singular, plural form of the word. So I have one factory, so I know that I have to make this a plural. So in that sense, I have to take factory. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add IES after I take away the Y to make factories. Use this word in a sentence. Las Vegas has many factories that produce many different types of goods. I've made that into a plural form now. Number three, will not. Now, when I make this contraction, I can see the two words, but you guys are smart enough to figure out that I'm not going to have the word willn't. This is not a conventional contraction. So I'll use the example, I will not go to school today. Topical. If I want to make that contraction, I won't go to school today. So here's the contraction of will and not. Number four, teaspoon. This is a good abbreviation. We just finished our measurement unit, so we measure things in teaspoons. So if I'm going to make this, again, I'm looking for letters to make this abbreviation. It's going to be shorter, have that period. So the abbreviation of teaspoon is T, S, P, and there's my period. Teaspoon. Interesting idiom here. So the shoe is on the other foot. Guys, remember we've talked about literal and figurative language. Please do not think about someone taking shoes off and putting it on another foot. Don't take this literally. So this idiom, the shoe is on the other foot. I want you to imagine that you were in a position where you had the advantage over someone, and then when that situation turns and now someone else has the advantage, that's what that means. The shoe is on the other foot. So say a literal example might be, you remember Spadefoot Toads, when Frankie, the bully, used to be kind of the person who was the bully in the class. And then there was that time when he figures out he's moving schools. He has that fight on the bus with Ben. He's going to realize the shoe is on the other foot because he's now going to be the new kid in class. He's going to be the one who's going to get bullied. He's going to be the one who's going to get treated in a different way. So in that sense, the shoe is on the other foot when Frankie goes to his new school. Here is number six, prehistoric. Okay, prefix. Prefix is pretty straightforward. You can see the word pre. You can see our base word, but please remember sometimes they change this base word. So the base word is going to be history. Here comes your suffix, IC. So the IC is going to change that noun of prehistory into an adjective, prehistoric. So you might think of prehistoric artifacts that we'll find by archaeologists, things that are prehistoric, things that are before history. Zooming on to number seven, telephone Sam owns. Okay, possessions. So I need to make out that Sam owns this telephone, or there's that connection between the two. So I'm going to make this into a possessive noun. So here's Sam's telephone. So you might write this in a sentence that Sam's telephone is a particular model, Sam's telephone is red in color, but as long as I know that Sam and the telephone, and he has ownership of that phone, I'm good to go. Peculiar sight. So I have these three words that I need to find the same as. So again, I'm looking for synonyms. So peculiar means the same as one of these three words. Does peculiar mean the same as strange, happy, or astonishing? So looking through this, strange kind of is the one I'm choosing, because if I know that happy does not mean the same as peculiar and astonishing does not mean the same as peculiar, so strange. In a sentence, strange. It is strange to be at home and not see you guys every day. Huh. Here comes number 9. She built a fancy playhouse. So subject, okay? So the subject, you know, is the she, that pronoun. Predicate, what is the she doing? She's building this fancy playhouse. Let's do this in the past. So yesterday, I'm still going to have she built a fancy playhouse. Today, she builds a fancy playhouse. And tomorrow, she will build a fancy playhouse. All right, these famous guide words. The alphabet club, the bouncers are need and negative, who gets in through the door. So if I'm looking at this, I can say that the third letter I think is key. So NE is all the same, so this third letter is going to tell me which one is going to go through in the middle of those guide words. So the word that I'm going to be looking at, so the G, I can see this G here, but do you see the L now? The L is going to be after the A, so I know it cannot be neglect. If I look at the word nectar, N-E-C, the C is going to be before the E here, so I know it can't be nectar. Let's double check needle. Here's need, here's needle, so I know that that L here is going to come after. This has to be the word needle. So needle is the word that is found between the guide words need and negative. All right, analogies. Hamburger is to eat as milk is to. So I'm going to eat a hamburger. What am I going to do to milk? This is pretty straightforward. As milk is to drink. Remember, those two connections between the words have to be the same for both examples in this analogy. Chocolate. Use this word in a sentence after you divide it into syllables. Okay, so I'm going to sound this out. My hand is underneath my chin. Chocolate. So I can see the 3 syllables that divide this word. And if you're like me, I do like to eat chocolate. Chocolate. 3 syllables. Number 13. Okay, this is a big mess. So when we're correcting this sentence, think about the past things that we've done, especially some commas. I know a lot of you have commented on your comma usage. And there's a few in here, so let's go. Okay. Oh, and also how do we title things? It's, I believe, in one of your other language lessons. So I'll start from the left. I know that I need a capital letter on no. And look at this statement here. It's a declaration. So there's going to be a comma after no. No, he hasn't read. I don't like hasn't because it's not a contraction. Okay. Old Yeller, that's the title of a book, so I need to make sure this is capitalized. And in one of your language lessons, it said on how to make sure that you understand book titles. If it's on the computer, you're welcome to make that into italics, but we're just going to underline that. No, he hasn't read Old Yeller, a good book. There's one more thing. I think this is one of those commas that come after the dependent clause, or at least it's naming an article as a noun here, so that looks good in there, and obviously I need a period. No, he hasn't read Old Yeller, a good book. I have now proofread and corrected that sentence. Number 14, the heart pumps blood. Well, if you're listening to me now, this has to be a fact. So that organ in your body that pumps blood throughout your body and make sure that you're alive, providing oxygen to your major organs. That is a fact. Number 15, revolve, abrupt, engine. Misspelled word. So, checking this, that looks good. Abrupt looks good. This issue here with engine, okay? Now that IN doesn't make the sound I want, so engine, it's E-N-G-I-N-E. Choose a word that has the same sound as the underlined letters. So this wa in once, the O makes that wa sound. So I'm looking at wonly, no. When, no. This has to be the word one. These two words have the same sound. Which one does not belong? Ice cream, milk, cake, pudding. Sounds like they all belong in my fridge. I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to say that milk does not belong. If I look at this argument that milk is a liquid, and all the others are solids. I think that's the best argument to say which one does not belong. Your favorite, ABC order. See, Carlos, me called on for this. Okay. ABC order, again, I can see car being in all the words, so I'm looking again at this fourth letter. Now, if I look at this fourth letter, I can automatically see that I have a carp and a carpet that kind of stay together. But I'm also, fourth letter, third letter, getting ahead of myself. That's for later. I see what I've done. Okay, so on the third letter, the car, C-A-R is the same. So I'm going to put car first, and then the extra letters after it. There's the fourth letter. Carp, and then I can see carpet, because I had the extra letters after it, which means that cart has to be the fourth one. $19. So we already had the synonym before. Here comes the antonym, opposite. So the first word we have is appear, the opposite to appear. So appear, so I can see things come into my view, they emerge, I can look at them. The opposite or the antonym word then has to be vanish, because then they'll be out of my view. And you guys are on the last one, your favorite. Things that are sticky. Remember, I'll start easy, but I'm looking for abstractions. And these abstractions you can put in the comments section later on. So things that are sticky. I mean, you can think of gum. You can think of something else that's sticky, but I'm looking for the abstraction. So instead of gum, I'm going to put something. I just thought of another simple one here, glue, stick things together. But the one I'm really looking for here is, I'll put an abstraction on here, something a bit out of the ordinary. How about a sticky situation? Okay. So what I'm looking for, as I said, is you to participate in these. I've given you a nice reference so you can go back and test yourself every day on these guys. Things like number 20, I know for language, I wouldn't mind if you put some other things that are sticky. You can put that in the comments section of your Google Classroom. And apart from that, I'll do this every week, so you have a reference to use this as your practice for the rest of the week. All right, guys, I'll see you in Mountain Math. Thanks for listening. Bye.